What's going on, guys? My name is Ben. How are you guys doing today? What I have for you today in this video is a bit of a security concern with automobiles. Fiat Chrysler automobiles, or oh, did I do that right? FCA? I think that's what it is. But basically, there was this article that I read, which link will be in the description below, where Chrysler recalled 1.4 million vehicles. And this included a variety of vehicles. The Dodge Durango SUVs from 2014 to 2015, the Dodge Ram trucks, the Dodge Avenger, Chrysler 200. You know, so far in this article was mostly the Chrysler product, or actually all of them were Chrysler products. But, you know, if this can happen to any car out there, it basically just depends on how the hacker is going to get into your car. Now, you hear me say hacker, you're probably thinking, uh-oh. Well, yeah, it is. What happened was Chrysler has this system inside their vehicles, and a bag just fell onto the floor, as I saw in the background. They call this the UConnect System, and basically this is an infotainment system for Chrysler products, alright? Chrysler vehicles. Where it basically features an 8.4-inch screen, and then basically you can touch to make some controls, or to control whatever you want to do in your car, such as like music, radio, navigation, whatever the case may be. And one thing I find confusing was that hackers were able to get into these systems, hack them, and then started controlling some of the functionalities inside the vehicles themselves, such as like climate control, AC, and then it gets even more dangerous to steering, brakes. Well, once I heard that, I was like, uh-oh, this is not good at all. And I guess now I know for sure that I much prefer cars with less features, pretty much. Because here's the thing, I don't really care for all those features much, because let's say if I need GPS navigation, right? I got an offline GPS app on my phone right here. Now you guys are probably like, well, it's best it's built into the car itself, so you don't have to keep lugging this thing onto the windshield and then take it off, and then if somebody sees it, in case you forgot it, then they're possibly going to steal it. Yeah, that is true, but keep in mind, they can also steal the GPS inside, but it's just a matter of their choice whether they want to or not. Most people don't really want to do that, because I think cars these days that have GPS systems pre-installed in there, maybe the car manufacturer themselves must have did some sort of software tweak, so that way they wouldn't even bother to take it out themselves, because I guess each GPS unit has to match with the vehicle identification number or the VIN number of that particular vehicle itself. So let's say if you were to take this radio out of this vehicle, vehicle A, and then you try to put in vehicle B, Vehicle B is not going to recognize it because it doesn't match with the VIN number. I don't know if that's the case with all cars. That's what I've heard. Not 100% sure about that story, but you know, unless if you can just plug and play into any vehicle, then that's a security risk. Because, think about it, infotainment systems, GPS navigation. I'd much rather have a radio inside the car where there's no touchscreen display at all, because you know, I've driven cars before with a touchscreen display. I actually find it to be distracting, believe it or not, because, for example, Acuras. You know, Acura, they have a navigation systems in there, and you can actually control the fan speed as well. Me personally, I prefer the actual button, because, well, when I push something, I actually want to feel the click. You know, you touch the touchscreen, you don't really feel a click at all, unless they made a clickable screen on it, which, you know, they don't do that, of course. And I don't know, I just feel like it's a little bit distracting, because I want to feel the button, so that way I can stay concentrated on the road. And then, you know, if I have to make a quick push of a button, I'd much rather do that. It's my personal preference. Thank God nothing happened. I don't know, I just feel like in a radio inside a car with a touchscreen, and then people try to control it while they're driving, it's a little bit distracting, because next thing you know, ooh, right there, you rear-ended somebody. Now you guys are probably like, oh, I can do this just fine, you know, and I'm not worried about it. Well, you know, be my guest, I won't say anything, but all I ask is that you just be careful out there on the road. I don't care how good you are, because a good driver is a driver that can avoid an accident. Even if it's your even if it's not your fault. You get into an accident, you're not considered a good driver, in my opinion, because a good driver would be somebody that avoids an accident. If not everybody's perfect, I understand that, and that's unfortunate because when accidents happen, you never know what kind of injury that can be caused or be triggered by just one accident, because one accident can either do some damage or maybe do minimum or no damage at all. And if there's no damage to your body, thank God that you're safe. So as far as these Chrysler vehicles are concerned with security flaws or security exploits, I mean, like I said before, I wouldn't bother to get these navigation systems or these types of infotainment systems inside the cars themselves. But here's the other thing. It also depends on other preferences too. For example, for me, if I get a car, I want leather seats. Just a personal preference, because leather seats I feel like is more comfortable, and the cloth seat is not bad either, but for me, I just prefer leather because it's easier to clean, and I just feel more comfortable in them. Well, unfortunately, for some car brands out there, you want leather seats, okay, it's going to come with an infotainment system with a touchscreen, and yeah, it's not a good combination right there. If I do want to get leather seats that bad, I have no choice but to face into getting those things. So, I don't know. A lot of people out there do like cars with these kinds of features. Some people like to stay with the old style, and that's why they just get the very cheap model of that particular car itself. But it really just depends on your preference. For me, my preference is I know what I want, and if I can't get in my way all the time, then I just have to make a sacrifice. And after seeing this, as nice as leather seats are, but if I do end up getting a car, and if I want leather seats, I need to have this infotainment system, and there's no exceptions to it. If I want leather seats, I'm definitely going to have the infotainment system. Then maybe I'll just go with a cloth seat and just deal with a regular radio without the touchscreen itself. And if they do give me a screen, just like a small screen. And another thing, I don't really care for the rear backup camera because, in my opinion, the best way is if you can back up without using a rear backup camera, great. I've heard people say, oh, if you're going to rely on the rear backup camera, you're considered lazy. I don't know. There's like all of these flaws and stereotypes, but I mean, if you really want to have a rear backup camera, but you still prefer to look back, use it both ways, great. Me personally, I'd rather like try to do it without the rear backup camera if I can, because you never know. I could jump into a car where I don't have one, and if I'm so used to driving with a rear backup camera, and then next thing you know, I'm in a car without one, and I can't back it up without the camera, I got problems. So it's best if you can do it both ways, but I'd say you're better off trying to learn about the camera first, so that way you get used to backing up by just looking back. I mean, I've talked to some people before, and they've all agreed with me. That is the best way when you're trying to reverse your car. I don't know, these are just my opinions, and these are serious security exploits, because with hackers doing this and people end up getting into accidents, guess what? They can't blame the hackers pretty much, because while the hacker controls the car, they weren't the ones actually operating it behind the wheel. So whoever is operating it behind the wheel and it's determined that their vehicle was the one that caused it, that particular driver is at fault, and their insurance is going to go up, while the other driver's insurance, will remain the same, but they'll get benefits. Either they get their car fixed, or if their car is considered total and they're given a check so they can do whatever they want with it, keep the money, or use the money into a brand new car. By all means, be my guest. So when you guys are driving out there, please be careful. And just if you are going to get a car with these kinds of systems, just consider about these, what I'm saying here, and think, okay, should I get this? Do I really need this? That? Am I really going to get lost all the time? therefore it's going to require me to have a GPS in my car. You know, it's really up to you, in my opinion. I mean, I can't say, oh, definitely do not go with the infotainment systems. I can't say that because, you know, they're all not going to be that easily hacked, but it can still happen. Me, I just like to stay on the safe side and just don't have most of that stuff at all. Basically, I just want a normal radio with actual buttons for controls, leather seats, fog lights, headlights. But in terms of like all this electronic stuff, where okay, you gotta have an electric hatch, where all you have to do is push a button and then the trunk opens by itself, or electric folding seats. I don't really want all that, because you know, to have all that, then if the motors go bad, you have to get those replaced. That's gonna cost money. I'd rather do everything manually. Most of the time, I don't want to just rely on technology to do everything for me. Alright, if I get lost, pull this thing out. If I don't get lost, great, I can put this thing away or just keep it in my pocket, don't have to worry about taking it out. I don't know, my personal preference. So what do you guys think about this? Do you guys think that, you know, after seeing the security exploit, it's going to spread? Believe me, it'll spread alright, but how bad is it going to spread? You never know. Maybe Chrysler might be the only ones affected, which I doubt that, because I know there are other car breeds out there who actually have built-in Wi-Fi. I don't even know if that's how hackers got in with these Chrysler products having Wi-Fi in them. I don't even know if they do. I know Chevys have them. Maybe Ford? I can't remember if Ford had any or not. I know Chevys have them. I don't know about Chrysler, but you know, I'm pretty sure the cars that have, you know, network connectivity are more than likely going to get hacked somehow. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, comment. Also check the description below for my social media links, Twitter and Instagram. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.